Hey guys, Derek here, and today we are going to bring you a bit of the new PC build and I guess my gaming setup in general right now, since we did do a fairly large update to that. Now I was going to do, more formal looking transition shots and like edits and all that type of stuff, but really I don't have time to do that, so we're just doing a quick one here. Dang, my mouse pad is getting dirty. Oh, hi Ivy. Hi Mickey. So Ivy's making an appearance. We're just going to be covering a little bit of the peripherals that in mouse, keyboard, the new PC, and all of that here. So starting off with the PC then. Wow, I'm basically filming myself. The glass is so shiny in that. I'm going to stand up and try to get out of the way a little bit perhaps. But the new PC, we got a Leon Lee case. I went with like a mid tower this time instead of full tower. The full tower was so heavy and like big and bulky and hard to like move. I figured this is gonna be a bit more convenient, so we got this like kind of stainless steel silver look to it on the back of the case as well. I can't really get in there to show you, but the back of the case, you can kind of see it here. There's like a clear spot in the back of the case too, so you can see like fans and stuff like that from the other side, which is kind of neat. That's probably just gonna look upside down for you guys though. But the coolest thing about this PC build that was kind of unexpected are these fans. These Leon Lee, they like wirelessly and like magnetically power each other. So there's one cable for 3 fans. Of course, they just connect into the back USB hub. But yeah, they all just like magnetically click into each other and power each other. So I thought that was like the coolest thing. Then we have the NZXT Kraken 360 triple fan AIO. We have 6,000 megahertz 32 gig DDR5. We have, Pepe Cheers there, of course, because it's a digital display, so I can put, whatever we want on there. So that's kind of neat. The temperature, performance, and all that has been pretty crazy with this thing. Like, I playing games, it really doesn't utilize that much with the thing. Like, it's a 13900K 24 core CPU, so really the temps have been good just because those games barely touch the CPU. So like we're barely in the 60s when we're playing games. And then of course we have the MSI 4090. I personally didn't really care for the appearance of the Strix one. Usually I get Strix, like I had the Strix 2080 Ti, Strix 3090, and the Strix one just looks like a brick this year, and it's just like it was like $500 or $600 more. So really, I couldn't justify not only the price, but the look of it as well. I kind of preferred the MSI one. So yeah, that's the 4090 13900K based build with the Leon Lee case and Leon Lee fans. The motherboard, I'll get the model of as well. The motherboards for these DDR5 systems, though, the motherboard alone is like $550 or something ridiculous. But yeah, I have the box photo here, which I'll put up. So that's kind of like the overview of all the parts while we were building and some other pictures while we were building it. So that's kind of the main PC. So part of the reason for that is for this guy over here. So I've actually really been enjoying this again. I didn't realize how much, like I knew the 4090 was a lot better than the 3090, but I went from like Assetto Corsa with some mods with like post-processing effects off and all of that to like just completely maxing things out and still running 90 FPS in VR, which is pretty crazy. That's the refresh rate of the Pimax 8KX there. But yeah, so like a little bit on that. Of course, it's the 8KX. I have like a harness, and that's kind of because I have back problems, but also kind of makes it feel a bit more like a racing seat. And then we have the Fanatec V3 pedals, and we have the CSW 2.5 with the McLaren GT3 rim. And then if you want to get extra immersed, you put on like gloves and shoes and strap in and stuff. It's actually pretty wild experience. So I've actually been doing a lot of that lately, and recently just got iRacing again. So we may have to spend some more time on that. But otherwise, just taking a look at some other peripherals and whatnot here. Before I do that, let's just put on one of my cats here on the digital display. Cat or seal, you tell me. So just to get the exact model numbers of the monitors that I'm using here for this setup, I've used to have triple screens for racing, but now I just stick with VR. So the 1080p one, this is like my main FPS display here. So of course this 1080p. There's the exact model ROG PG258Q, so that's just a 240 hertz 1080p. I've been really debating getting a 1440p 240 hertz as well, just to kind of have the best of both worlds. Because right now, if I play any game that's not like competitive shooter based, whether that be Scum or whatever else, I whip my mouse pad and keyboard over to this desk, and then I play over here on the 1440p, which was one of the racing screens, so just a 32-inch 1440p screen. And then for like wireless, just putting the headphones on this side of the desk, I use the Logitech G Pro or G Pro X. I have a C920 camera, and then when I'm playing shooting games over here, I now use my Bose noise canceling. They sound a lot better than the Logitech G Pro, and plus noise canceling is nice for gaming for like sound abusing, let's call it. This is one of the best purchases I've made recently. So this is a Death Adder V3, and I got the 4K wireless dongle as well. It seems like 4K polling does crash Shatterline quite a bit. When I play 2K, I'm fine. 4K in every other game has been fine. It's just been Shatterline that crashes with it for some reason. Mousepad's getting a little scraped from my wrists and whatnot, but yeah, I never went from like a smaller mouse to like a bigger mouse. It's like a ergo style mouse, but I think it's only like 62 or 61 grams or something around that, which is pretty crazy. So that's been a very comfortable lightweight mouse. I went from the Viper V2, which is a smaller mouse, up to this mouse, so it was kind of concerning at first. So when I was playing games with both of them literally just side by side, flip-flopping back and forth, I found myself wanting to reach to the Death Adder V3 a bit more, so I stuck with that one. And I feel like it, like the Ergo mouse, like it kind of looks like a Zowie EC2 or one of the EC series mice, which is a good thing in my opinion. But I always said, like, if you just reach out to feel like you're grabbing a mouse or grabbing something on your desk, what's your natural hand position? I just reached out, and I was like, it like just fit that shape pretty much perfectly. So I kind of do a bit of a like claw-ish, I don't know what you call that, claw-ish, fingertip-ish grip. So like up and sides and stuff, I still use my fingers, but otherwise the rest of it, my palm still rests on it, which is kind of nice because the Viper V2, it's too small, so it's like your palm doesn't really rest on anything. So it's just, you know, whatever your grip style is. And then we have the Ornata V3 keyboard. It's full size, unfortunately, but it's the only low profile gaming one where I like the actual clicks of the keys. So, because all the other ones, like I had the Huntsman Mini. I've had a bunch of keyboards. I have a Steel Series M750 somewhere still. I have a couple others, but this is the one I just like the low profile feel. And when I actually play games, pardon me for 1 second. When I actually play games, I have the keyboard like this. So that's about my keyboard tilt, whether you call it like 45 or more, whatever that is. Actually, I tilted in a little bit more even. And then that actually kind of hits my stomach a little bit, or like my my ribs a little bit, but it's kind of like almost a secure thing now. Like when I feel that up against my side, like I know I'm in the right position. Kind of a weird thing now. But that's the keyboard tilt I use. And then I have, of course, all this for mouse space. Right now for ADS 360, I use about 27 centimeters to do a 360 right now. I went back to my old iron sight sense, and that actually has felt the best to me. So I've been experimenting like crazy with the big mouse pad. But yeah, around the 30 or just below 30 centimeters for a 360 is just kind of me. I was experimenting. I can play on other sensors, but I feel like I can do the most damage and press the W key the hardest when I'm on that type of sensitivity. So yeah, that's the 240 hertz monitor I'm using. 165 hertz monitor over here just for other games. It's a 13900K 4090 base system. I've been absolutely loving the performance gains on it. It's absolutely ridiculous. For reference, I've only really done one benchmark with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, where I was at 175 FPS on the 3090. And I've actually been able to test it on a 3080 as well. I went from a 3080 at 165 FPS to a 3090 at 175 FPS, so a 10 FPS gain. And then on this system, I was at 280 FPS, so it's just not even close. And that's only one game. So like, you know, other games, of course, depending on the optimization, is it open world or not, is it online or not, you know, it's going to affect things differently. But lately, I've actually been playing Tomb Raider as well, max settings with ray tracing on the 165 hertz, and that's been pretty enjoyable again. But mainly as well, the VR performance, and it's absolutely ridiculous since those things need really high resolutions to account for what's called barrel distortion, but I digress. So yeah, that's basically the setup now. PC, been absolutely loving it. You know, monitor stayed the same for quite a while. We might go for a 1440, 240 at one point or another, but we're not there yet. And I guess the microphone here is just the old classic dusty as heck Blue Yeti, which is kind of mid-tier in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the new build, and I guess we'll catch you guys in the next one.